don't feel like enough people are talking about it. That's kind of why I wanted to cover it. There was basically Florida deputies busted in on a U.S. Airman into the wrong apartment. And it's basically killing senior airman Roger Fortson, who was only 23.
What were they there for?
Okay, so deputies were responding to a disturbance call at the Florida apartment complex, and they bursted into the wrong unit and fatally shot a black U.S. Air Force airman. Fortson was in his apartment when he heard a knock at the door. He asked who was there, but didn't get a response. A few minutes later, he heard a louder knock, but didn't see anyone when he looked through the peephole. So, Foreman walked back through the living room. Could get his gun. He's in the.
He should.
Yeah. And after that happened, as he was walking back to his living room, deputies burst through the door, saw that Fortson was armed, and shot him 6 times.
They released the body footage yesterday. So the deputy came up, knocked on the door. He told who he was, and as soon as the airman opened up the door, his gun was in his right hand, but it was pointed down. As soon as the deputy seen it, he immediately opened fire on him.
Oh, well, it's still. I mean, it's still mistaken identity, or
well, they were at the wrong unit regardless.
That's not the first time that happened. That was another situation that happened
in
before,
Texas
like that
with that white lady.
The lady. Yeah.
So regardless, the police are in the wrong. And Dub's right. This needs to be talked about more because that's an awful situation.
So Fortson died at the hospital. The deputy involved in the shooting was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation.
Yeah, but then they're gonna say that he ain't in the wrong, blah blah blah, and get away with the shit. That's how.
End up paying the damn family money.
Yeah.
But see, this is where white voters like. Where do y'all see the silver lining in this? Because y'all gonna pay for one.
Yeah, I always say that. Whatever they do to white people, they start in the hood, and they do it to black people. And once nobody says anything, then they take the shit to the suburbs and start doing it to your kids and your people. And that's when y'all start crying about it.
Say something.
Exactly.
That's when you want to act like something.
So eventually they're going to start kicking in white people's doors who are at the wrong unit or the wrong home, and white people are going to start getting.
Eventually, we've covered stories where the police have tripped on white people for the wrong thing and stuff like that. Like they
empower them by not giving a shit when things like this happen.
Because it ain't them at that point in time.
This is the thing, though, and this plays into the election coming up. Donald Trump wants police to face no consequences. He wants them to have, just
he want to be able to go around just
do
shooting
whatever.
And doing whatever
like,
they want to.
He just wants the police to run wild and stuff like that. So remember that when you go out to vote, that he wants the police to have all, to be able to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true? Keep that in mind.
Who?
Trump.
No, Trump he's drunk and overpowered. We talked about this a little bit last week. He's drunk and overpowered, so he will pander to anything to get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
but in regards to the man getting shot, of course, Ben Crump.
Oh yeah, you know he coming.
He pops up.
He coming.
Flying.
Ben Crump don't miss a chance to make some money.
Yeah, so
or be on TV.
Yeah, so you know where this is going.
I mean, but that's a bad thing, though?
When Ben Crump comes into the situation, you're going to get a check. You're not going to get justice, but you're going to get a check.
Well, in this situation, we all know.
Okay, is it a bad thing? No, but give some other people a chance to,
Well, he's the more man. I
understand that, but
it ain't even that. It's just nobody goes to jail when Ben Crump pops up. None of these people.
Who does go to jail though? How many cops actually did go to jail for killing somebody, innocent black person?
Actually,
person?
one did in that situation with
Floyd. That was the most.
Fort Worth, Texas, 2019.
Was it the one in
Tintia
South
Jefferson,
Carolina, where they?
It's still
out.
It's still out. It's still
not enough.
Yeah, it's still outnumbered 3-1.
They shot that woman in Fort Worth through the rear window of her home after responding to a non-emergency call reporting that her front door was open. The officer was found guilty of manslaughter in 2002 and was sentenced to nearly 12 years in prison. So A police officer did get time because it was a non-emergency call.
We can't. I guarantee you, on one hand, that's how many we gonna find like that.
And Amber Geiger was sentenced to 10 years in prison for busting in that nigga's home eating ice cream and shot him. Both them Gene. So I definitely believe a check is coming, but I don't think justice is getting
get
served.
a check and get locked up. It's gonna be either or.
However, I do see the Democrats possibly using this as a, to try and win over favor with people. So it might get political in the next couple months.
Hey, it is. It's already has.
Political season's about to kick in the
Yes,
full
it's crazy.
Political season have been kicked in. It's been.